really like the XRS mud racers. I thought that the XRS drag racers were kind of gimmicky at first, but I ended up really liking them. But these XRS rocket racers are something else. Anyway guys, welcome back to yet another review. Today, I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new XRS Rocket Racing Series version of McQueen here. Now, of course, these XRS cars are $6, which is $2 more than your average single, at least here in America. And, you know, the mud racers, they were basically monster trucks. They were all souped up, and they definitely made sense to be more expensive. The drag racers were pretty big, and they also had this whole moving piston gimmick. These guys, if you spin the wheels, the flames turn. Yippee. But hey, they did include one cool thing. They now include these pit stop barriers redecorated to be blast walls, so that's pretty cool. But, you know, I don't really know how I'm going to feel about these guys. Something just looks off, and I really think it's just the lack of a spoiler. They also look just kind of goofy in general. Again, I thought the same thing about the drag racers. So, you know what? The only way to see what I really think about these guys is to open one up and review it. So, let's get started with the review of this Lightning McQueen with Blast Wall. Of course, we've got a piece of artwork there, definitely looking interesting. We've got your little thing that lets you know that the flames spin, as you can see there. There is like a little try-me thing there, so they will turn if you roll it. Unfortunately, the series doesn't have a description, which is really annoying because the first two XRS series had descriptions and they gave them some background, so now we don't know what's up with these and why they look like this. We've got Rocket Racing logos. The description has basically been replaced with some warning stuff, of course, so that is like legally required to be on there, so whatever. We've got Cruz, Jackson, Barry, and Steve Slick LePage, all of which I do have, and they all look pretty okay. At least in like the facial expression department. Aside from Barry, who's using the really weird, like tiny-eyed variant of himself from his single release. So here is McQueen. There we go, there he is. And here is the blast wall. We'll take a look at that first. You know, it's a blast wall, so you're supposed to send them in at really high speeds and they go crashing through that. I think it would be cool if these guys were pullback cars, because then you're really getting some pullback action in there when they're crashing through the blast walls. Also, it justifies the higher price point, aside from the fact that, hey, the flames spin, and also a piece of plastic. But yeah, it is a very cool accessory there. We've got the 95 and the XRS logo. I really like that. We're getting those. I never got the original pit stop barriers, so it is pretty cool. And you could still use it as a pit stop barrier, except it'll just have an XRS logo on there. I like these XRS McQueens. I like their color scheme, how they incorporate some more orange lightning bolts or orange flames, and also some black is thrown in there. They look pretty cool. We've got the XRS logo there. We have two lightning bolts. It's a very unique design. He's smiling, of course. Got the 95 there. And over here we've got something interesting. It says XRS/LMQ. All the cars seem to have that with their initials, which is pretty cool, and I'm happy they did that. It's a pretty cool thing, especially after the second wave of the mud racers and the first and only wave of the drag racers labeled the cars that weren't main characters just their sponsor name. It is pretty cool to have their names written there and also use their actual names on the packaging. Moving across to the side, you can see his wheels there are an interesting silver design. We've got XRS written there, Piston Cup written there, which is interesting because the other ones don't have Piston Cup logos. He's got a bunch of bolts on him. We've got an arrow here, which is interesting. I guess just to show that he's being propelled forward. Clearly, these cars are doing something dangerous, as you can see from everything being bolted up. I guess they're going so fast that their windows might be shattered or something. We've got his signature there and a big 95 on the top. And he's got some secondary sponsors there as well, RPM, Roof Vaulting, and Clutch Aid. And moving on to the back, you can see this fin that replaced the spoiler. I guess that him having that spoiler didn't make him as aerodynamic. Of course, here they're supposed to be modified to go as fast as possible, it seems. We also have some smaller fins and XRS LMQ written there alongside the 95. And on the back, we've got Rusty's medicated bumper ointment, which is interesting because he doesn't really have any other Rusty's logos. Also, he's got a chip, which is unfortunate. And moving on to the other side, you've got the same stuff. But as you can see, when you roll this guy along, the flames spin. They are plastic. Of course, they could just spin on their own. If you spin them, the wheels move, which is interesting, so it works both ways. And there is the base. You can see they are made in Vietnam, and they don't look bad. A lot of the made in Vietnam cars have these thick outlines around the eyelids, but it's really nice that these guys don't have them. They do look pretty good, aside from the whole goofiness of the design. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I will be writing a written review on this guy on my new blog, so make sure to check that out. You could also comment there. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.